Yeah, you're good, man. How have you been? I've been out of the loop.
I know you've been out of the loop. We haven't been doing podcasts. It feels good to be
Yeah.
back here, though.
Yeah, how long has it been since we did our last one?
It's been over a week and a half.
Yeah, and then we missed some events, but you guys saw them. Welcome to the Whiskey Weigh-In. As always, I'm Brett Arrington, and
Shay Huffman over here.
yeah, and we've got UFC 241 coming up. Before
Ooh.
we get into that, though, I want to know how your training's going for that 8K.
Oh man, I actually on Saturday I did 5 miles, which is what I have
5
to be able
miles
to do.
straight?
Yeah, 5 miles straight. I did
Oh, well, then you're ready.
it. No, I'm not ready.
What was your time? Do you know?
I didn't time it.
Oh, you didn't? Okay.
No, but if I had to guess, it's anywhere between 43 to 48 minutes.
Is this like you have to finish, or is it timed? Is it competitive 8K?
Yeah, it is competitive.
Oh, okay. So you'll place and stuff.
Right. Not well. I'm hoping well, but I won't.
Is that something you kind of want to get into then? Like maybe do more of those?
My buddy at work got me into it. He does like
that's
Spartan
cool.
races and all that. And then
Wow.
Yeah, and he told me about this, and he's like, I'm doing it. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to do it.
Yeah. Have you ever looked into the Tough Mudder?
No.
That's pretty cool. I think it's similar to the Spartan race, a little different.
Okay.
It's just a big obstacle course. Like the only objective is to finish.
Right.
But that's quite an objective for some of those courses.
Right.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Well, that's good. I was away on vacation in Charleston, South Carolina, and then visited home and kind of just been running all over the place.
Yeah, I know. You've been out of town every day pretty much.
Yeah.
Busy man.
Yeah, it's been crazy. Kind of happy to get back into our routine, though, and get these out weekly. Especially with this card coming up, man. This is huge. This could be one of the biggest ones of the year.
Yeah, this has the potential to be the best card of the year. Potential.
Yeah, I mean, 239 was great, but some exciting fighters on this one.
Yes.
Freaking Diaz and Pettis and Cormier, Miocic, Romero, Acosta. I mean, geez.
I know this one is stacked, and even Brunson. I think Brunson starts us out on the main card, doesn't he?
Yeah. Derek Brunson and Ian Hennis.
Yep.
I don't know a whole lot about Ian, but I know Brunson is a good wrestler, and I think he was like a 3 times NCAA Division II wrestling
I know
champ.
Brunson is a beast.
So yeah, I know you know more about Brunson than I do. I mean,
yeah, Brunson's a really great fighter. I mean, I think that he's just one of those people that kind of, I don't want to say goes under the radar, but he kind of does go under the radar, and he always is a really good, solid fighter all around. I mean,
is it because he has so many losses? 7 losses?
I think, what is his record? I don't have it in front of me.
19-7.
19-7. I mean, that's not a bad record by any means, though. I mean, maybe he just can't really get it done, when the lights are bright.
Yeah,
which
makes sense.
There's a lot of fighters like that are really good fight. I mean, like someone like Cowboy. Cowboy is a great fighter, but he can never get it done when the lights are brightest.
Yeah,
and that's one of my favorite fighters. But I mean, I kind of say the same for Brunson.
Do you have Brunson in this one?
Oh yeah. It's not it's on a big card, but it's not like a big fight for him. You know what I mean?
Oh,
like,
really?
That's not a big fight for him. So yeah, give me Brunson all day on this one.
Yeah,
I don't see him losing.
I think I'm going to go with Brunson too, just because he's got that wrestling background, and this other guy has a Muay Thai background. So
yeah,
I don't know. I just feel like wrestlers always typically have an advantage.
They always have an edge.
And I mean, you tell me that most of the time. That's
yeah, I mean, unless that striker is just leaps and bounds above the other person in striking, which usually isn't necessarily the case. But I mean,
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if he'll be leaps and bounds. I mean, he's 13-1 right now. I think he might be on a win streak, so we'll see. I mean, hopefully it's a good fight. It'd be kicking us off for the night. The next one is a featherweight bout. Gabriel Benitez and Sadiq Yusuf.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about these guys, honestly. I mean, do you know anything about these little guys?
I know Yusuf fought it was like Miraz not too long ago. I think it was either this year or last year he fought him. So I've watched Yusuf once or twice, so I'm gonna go with Yusuf in this one. I kind of like him. This is probably like the least anticipated fight on the card. Not to throw them under the bus,
but these like two it could be a prelim, right?
Yeah, I'm surprised because even on the prelims they have Rafael, who's a 135 or bantamweight, but he's like number 3, I think. And bantamweight, he's a beast. I'm surprised like they didn't put him on the main card and then throw this one on the prelim, or even like this one be the first fight instead of the Brunson one being the first fight. But whatever. I'm living. Yeah. I'm not complaining with this card at all. There's zero chance I'm going to complain with this card.
Yeah, I know. We were pretty negative about one of the last few cards.
Yeah, I'm not. This is like one of my favorite cards, probably of the year. I mean, this probably will be my favorite.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just so excited to see DC lose. It's going to be great.
Stop. All right, just get into the next one here, because this next one, this is one of my favorite fighters right here.
All right, you got Yoel Romero and Paolo Acosta.
The soldier of God, Yoel Romero. Man, I love me some Yoel.
He looks like a little god. Jeez.
Well, so does Acosta, though. Look at, man, these two are like...
I haven't really looked at Acosta.
Oh, my gosh. It's like these guys are like Greek gods. I don't know how that they got their bodies sculpted like this. It's amazing to me that just people have these kind of genetics, and then I'm sitting here... just lanky, string bean. I don't know how people get these genetics, but this one right here, like you can just look at these two and you're going to be like, wow, somebody's going night-night.
Yeah. Well, now I know why you got into UFC.
I mean, geez. I don't know who I even have in this one.
Really?
Just, I would.
What's Paulo's background?
Well, do you see his arms?
Yeah.
You can imagine he's going to have power.
Yeah.
Powerful boy.
Stand-up guy.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I mean, they both can go to the ground. I mean, Yoel's been to the ground. He can do well on the ground. And here's the thing with him, though. If Yoel doesn't get a knockout within like the first round and a half, it's pretty much over for Yoel. His corner does a lot of...
anticipate a strike game?
He gets really tired. As big as he is.
Yoel?
Yeah, extremely tired. His corner does some dirty tactics, actually.
Oh, yeah?
They spill...
To compensate for his stamina?
Spill water in the corner, and like it has to be like cleaned up. So it gives him like an extra minute. This happens almost every fight. I would not be surprised if it doesn't happen this fight.
They should penalize for that. That's kind of like flopping. Just like how John Jones spit out his mouthpiece whenever Thiago was going after him. Like,
yeah, I mean, I forget who fought last time. It might have been him and, oh God. Can you look up who he's fought? It might have been Weidman. I think it was Weidman. Weidman's corner was telling them before the fight started that this would happen, and it did. And like they were like, I know they were complaining about points in this one, but I mean it didn't matter because Yoel ended up winning. I think that's when Yoel kneed him right in the head. I'm pretty sure. Well,
his very last fight. Is that what you're talking about?
No, I don't. It wasn't
his last fight was Robert Whitaker, and he lost.
Yeah, he lost. He had fought Weidman though. If you look, I'm pretty sure. I don't think I'm almost positive.
He fought Weidman in 2016.
Okay.
Yeah. And he won in the third round TKO.
Yeah. So yeah, that's the one. I knew because they do this often though.
That was UFC 205.
Ooh man, I'm getting old. Watching this stuff.
That's crazy. Jeez, how far away those are.
I'm about to say that doesn't seem like it was that long ago. Like I would have said that was 2 years at max. That's crazy to think of.
Yeah,
but
like 3 years now.
So for this one, definitely give me Yoel.
Yeah,
I'm going Yoel. Wait, who did you pick in the last featherweight?
We didn't even pick in the last one.
Oh yeah, I'm about to say.
I don't think either one of us picked.
Sorry, I'm
going with Gabriel.
Oh, and see, I was going with Yusuf.
Oh, good. We picked different.
Yeah, okay, right. Good. Yeah, that's what I was going with on that one. All right, so Yoel. back to the meat and potatoes.
I was also going to go with Yoel, but...
Back to the meat and potatoes. Yeah, I'm going with Yoel. I really like Yoel. I think if he wins this one, if he wins this, and then Stylebender wins in October against Whitaker, then the fight is obviously Stylebender versus Yoel to make. Because Yoel, in his last fight against Whitaker that he lost, that was like a decision. And a lot of people say that Yoel won that. Yoel fought great against him, and I was kind of disappointed.
Do you think he gets Stylebender after this win?
Yeah. I mean, who else you gonna put in there at 185?
I don't know, but he just came off a loss right now, right?
From the champion though, against Whitaker.
Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, I guess it makes sense.
I mean, so if he wins this one and then Stylebender wins, I don't see why you wouldn't do it. Because, I mean, you got to think Gastelum just lost 2 Stylebenders. So there's no way they do that.
Right. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I mean, anytime I get to see Stylebender fight, I'm all for it. So.
Yeah, and I think that one's like October 5th or something.
Oh, wow.
I think is the date on that.
Yeah, I mean, that's really not even that. That's less than a month away.
Yeah, so I'm really excited for that one. And then, yeah, so Yoel, I really want to see him get back on track with this one. Whitaker's such a beast, though. And like, it's understandable why he can't beat Whitaker, but he should win this one just as long as he doesn't get caught early.
Yeah, or lose stamina, like you were saying.
Yeah, but
spill the water, baby.
Spill that water. So yeah, give me and you're going Yoel too.
They should do a hashtag spill the water. Yeah, I'm gonna go Yoel.
Okay, both of us going
mostly
Yoel.
because I'm a fan of Yoel. You have more background than I do. All right, the next one is a welterweight co-main event.
This might be the fan
fight,
favorite.
Yeah, people might be anticipating this fight probably as much as the main event. I mean,
maybe more.
Anthony Pettis and Nate Diaz. Nate Diaz is coming off of what? Was it 2 or 3 years? He was away 2 years, I think.
Yeah, because his last fight was Conor.
Yeah,
and it was a loss. And then Nate says that he won that fight.
Well, I also listened to an interview with Nate. Did you listen to that? It was like 20 minutes long.
Yeah. I don't know if it's the same one, but he just did it recently, like here in the past 2 days.
Yeah, it was just him and another guy. It wasn't the embedded one. It was like there's just him and another guy. And he was sitting on the couch talking.
Yep.
So
I watched that. And it looked hold on. Can we talk about that? Because it looked like Nate's eye was like busted. Did we see this? Like, I mean, it was like bruised. He
looked
bad.
Messed up, like physically and mentally.
Nate like always he doesn't sound good ever, but
I like him. But he didn't sound great.
He never sounds.
His voice sounded bad too. Does he always sound like that?
Kind of. Nate kind of always just sound. You're always like, He always sounds like he's like slurring and everything else.
I hope we don't like run into him so he doesn't beat our asses. But
no, I'm telling you, it looked like he had like a black eye.
Yeah, I didn't really notice the eye because I was like listening to it while I was working, so I didn't watch it.
Okay.
But I was just listening, but one of the things that I found interesting was that when he was talking about fighting, and he was saying that their fights that go to decision aren't real losses, and I was like, "Are you a martial artist?" Like, like in his mind, I guess like if you don't knock somebody out or submit them, then if you don't finish them, then it's not a real loss. And so in his mind, like he probably thinks he doesn't really have.
I think he's only been finished twice out of his whole career, which is pretty impressive.
Well, he's so long and fast. I mean, he's a good fighter.
Yeah. Nate's one of the best all-around fighters the UFC has. All around, like it doesn't get much better than Nate Diaz.
It was interesting to hear his side. It kind of seemed like he was saying that it wasn't just his decision to be away. Mm-hmm. The media was falsely portraying him as turning down fights, is what he was saying. I mean, he was also upset that Conor's been given all this love and attention, and then he hasn't been, and he's like kind of like drawing things there. And I think that's just kind of a little bit of a misunderstanding of the business, or it's just an unfairness of the business. I mean, he's thinking he does bring personality to the sport, but he also brings great skill and talent. Yeah. And I guess the media is kind of a variable in determining who they want to pay attention to, and not just the media, but the UFC in general. Like, who do you want to put in the spotlight? And they're choosing Conor over him. I mean, it was just weird to see how he's viewing it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because you told me before that he's dumb for thinking that, he brought in money. Like, he's only famous because Conor's famous. But I don't know. I mean,
I think for the casual fan, he got famous because of Conor. Yeah.
For the casual fan, I would. Okay.
And I think like you have a little bit more experienced casual fans, I guess is the way to put it, that would definitely know Nate Diaz. Like they know the Diaz brothers.
I'll tell you a couple years ago that I didn't really know much about him until he fought Conor. So, and I was a casual fan just a couple years ago.
Right.
So
Nate, I think the problem with Nate is he really thinks he's worth more than what he is. Yeah, people want to see him fight, but it's not. But like,
is he worth it though?
He's not a blockbuster. Like he's not even the main event.
Yeah, I guess his argument would be that maybe if the UFC treated him better, he would be.
Maybe. I don't think Nate...
I don't know. It was interesting. That interview kind of changed my perspective a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
I can see that, but I don't think Nate brings like that that media frenzy. He doesn't bring that to the table.
Connor does it on his own. Like if he doesn't get the UFC's help, he goes and just he gets everybody's attention.
I think Nate can. I don't know. His media is good, but it's not like it's good because of him amping it up. I don't know. Maybe just because
saying he's not very charismatic.
He's not charismatic. Like he doesn't really speak too well.
Yeah.
I mean, so that hurts him as well. Like he's just a fighter to me. Like he's just a fighter. I just look at him and I'm like, that's a brawler. Like that's somebody that's meant to fight.
A beast of a fighter. Do you think that his return is going to be similar to Tony Ferguson's? You think he's going to be dominant in this fight? I'm
going to tell you right now, Nate could win this fight easily. But will he? No. Because
you don't think so?
No. I'm going to he could take Pettis down and probably raw dog man.
You don't think he's going to stand with him?
That's what I'm saying. He's going to stand with him.
You think Pettis has the advantage?
He could take him down, and he's not going to. Does Pettis have an advantage? Standing up? No, but Pettis is showtime. Pettis can knock you out jumping off the fence, kicking you in the head.
I mean, that's why Nate took the fight, though.
Yeah.
I mean, he's like, oh, that guy's... I love how he talked about it. He goes, I want to see cool fighters. Not just good martial artists. He wants to see people doing cool stuff.
Yeah.
And he was talking about how Habib is boring. And how,
he is.
Like,
no, I mean...
You know what I mean? But like, usually you don't hear that from people who are inside the octagon. Usually you only hear that from
Nate
fans.
He doesn't care at all.
But he's a real fan. You know, he wants to see cool stuff. And I just think that's cool coming from a fighter.
He won't take him down. And that's the thing. Like, if Nate wanted to, that's another thing. If Nate
you think he should take him down?
Oh, I mean, if you want to win easily, I mean, I won't say okay. I shouldn't.
Not very good off his back.
I shouldn't say easily, but Nate is just that much of a beast on the ground, and he just doesn't really get credit for it because he doesn't do it. But when he does,
he's talking submission game or ground and pound or both.
Anything on the ground.
Yeah,
that boy's a monster on the ground. I mean, as soon as Connor went to the ground, it was instant. That boy out tap. I mean, Nate is just that good on the ground.
So long, man. Those guys that just wrap around you.
Yeah,
you know?
Nate is great on the ground, and I just don't see him taking to the ground. They're gonna stand and bang. This is gonna be a great fight. There's no way that neither one of these guys will back down. And it's always funny to watch. Not funny, awesome to watch Nate in a fight because I feel like he kind of starts out slow, and then he just picks it up. He just keeps ramping it up, and I'm just
he doesn't really lose pace.
He doesn't
lose energy
at all,
even in the freaking video game. And it's ridiculous, dude. You ever fight him in UFC 3?
And that's another thing though, working in his advantage at being at 170. I mean, like he doesn't have to cut all that much because he was at 155 before. Well, and before the Connor fights, he was really a 155er. So now at 170, it's a more of a natural weight. And then plus Pettis is a smaller one. He's not really even 170. I mean, he's not a 170 fighter. I mean, yeah, he beat Wonder Boy at 170.
So he's a small 170.
Oh yeah, Showtime's very small for 170. So it'll be interesting to see. If ring rust is real, which a lot of fighters say it's not, and then you have other people that's like, yeah, it's real. Nate's gonna be in trouble. But
lately, it's not real.
Yeah,
look at Tony's return, Uriah's return.
Especially Uriah. You have
people are just coming back fresh.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing is he can come back refreshed out of this. Nate. I don't really see Nate as a person that would have ring rust, but Pettis has been very active. Pettis has been in there a lot.
Yeah.
But with all that being said, yeah, give me Nate. I can't go against Nate. I can't wait to see him slap him. I just want to see that. Slap one good time, right upside the head. This is a tough one. This is a toss-up.
It is tough. I mean,
if it goes to the ground, it's Nate all day.
I was going to pick Nate, but because you picked Nate, I'm going to go with Pettis with a surprise knockout. Well, I don't even know what the odds are.
And see, that's the thing is, it really wouldn't even be a surprise, though. You know what I mean? Like I could see it happening.
I could see it happen too, but
Nate doesn't get knocked out though.
That's what I mean.
Said,
you know what I mean? It's yeah. It's not surprising to see Pettis knock somebody out. It is surprising to see Nate get knocked out.
Right, yeah, because Connor was piecing him up, and he just ate him. I mean, he would fall down and get right back up.
Got a chin, yeah.
Yeah, he's got a big chin on him.
What is he? He's a soldier, right? That's what he says. One of his Nick's soldiers. All right, so now we got this big main event. It's going to put a big stain on the career of Daniel Cormier.
Wow.
Going against Stipe Miocic, the great firefighter from Cleveland.
Yep.
Or from Ohio, somewhere in Ohio.
It is Cleveland. Yep, it's Cleveland. Yeah. You were right. Don't second guess yourself. You got it.
I thought it was Cleveland.
Yep.
But yeah, so we got overrated DC versus Stipe Miocic.
Somebody help him.
I think that Stipe got caught in the last time they fought. Yeah. He got knocked out. And
clean.
And yeah, he got caught. But I don't think it's going to happen that way this time. And I think DC's kind of going in, probably underestimating Stipe. And Stipe is coming in hungrier than ever. So I'm expecting a really, really good fight. Obviously, I'm joking about DC, but I mean, he's not the greatest of all time. I mean, easily,
what if he wins this?
He still hasn't beat John. Did you see John's tweet today?
No.
He tweeted that he said that fight will never happen because DC will never lose the weight again, and then a bunch of other stuff. And then so I just tweeted him back. I said, move up. Because if he wants to talk trash, but he doesn't want to go up to heavyweight and earn, but even if he went up to heavyweight, he would still have to earn his way to DC. But because of money, he would still get the fight. But that's a side thing. This is Cormier Miocic right now. We could talk about that later.
Okay. That's fair. Because I did see a DC interview with Ariel.
I did too. I know. I saw that one as well. And he still has a chip on his shoulder. And he said if he fought him again, it would be at light heavyweight because he needs to beat him at light heavyweight. And I don't like
that.
Yeah, well, it's because it's stupid. Because he's stupid.
And he said that he wouldn't fight Francis. DC said that.
Yeah. So how are you going to say that?
So it's basically John Jones or bust for him.
Yeah.
If he wins this,
it's dumb. I mean, he's not the GOAT if he won't fight Francis. He's not too old to fight Francis, is he? Is he too old to fight Francis?
No, but John. Then you can't say then John Jones isn't the GOAT because he won't even move up to fight one person at heavyweight.
Well, that's what I mean. John Jones should have to fight Francis before he fights DC. John Jones hasn't done anything in heavyweight.
It's good.
Nothing. You know what I mean? That's one thing I'd agree with DC on, is that if he moved up to heavyweight, he would have to earn his way to fight DC past all those other guys. And there's probably a lot of other heavyweights. At least a handful of heavyweights that could probably beat John Jones.
As good as it sounds, yeah. But no, I mean, I disagree with it. John's proved his worth. I mean, it's in a whole other division, but if you want to move up and you've dominated, then there you go. Yeah, you got it.
I think when it comes to money, John Jones gets the fight. When it comes to reputation, John Jones gets the fight. When it comes to legacy, John Jones gets the fight.
All that. It checks the boxes on every one of them.
When it comes to competition, he shouldn't get it. That's not fair.
But I mean, you could say that about all the other fighters that's moved up, like Conor when he was at 145 to 155. Then your favorite fighter,
it's not just competition, right?
Henry Cejudo moved right up. Yeah.
No, he's calling out women.
All right, so you have this fight going in Stipe's favor.
I want Stipe to win deeply. I really do.
Yeah.
I think DC is. I just don't like him that much.
Shout out to UFC for they put that fight on YouTube.
Which one?
The first fight of DC and Stipe.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, so I went back and watched it. Stipe was definitely landing early. DC was kind of landing early. And then, I feel like DC kind of got his timing down. And then it was over from there. If Stipe wants to win this fight, he cannot get in the clinch with DC.
That's one of the things that DC is better at than any other fighter in the UFC is the Greco-Roman wrestling, the stand-up grappling, and all that stuff.
The dirty boxing.
Yeah, so I completely agree with you there.
Yeah, you can't do that.
Yeah.
And and here's the thing is DC is definitely a better wrestler than Stipe. Is it enough to really give him an edge? Like, he would just destroy him if they go to the ground? I don't think so. I'd like to see them get on the ground. Stipe actually took him down in that fight, but DC got right back up.
Yeah, I know. I saw that in an interview with Stipe. He was talking about how he was able to take him down, and it really wasn't that hard.
Right. But then, DC got right back up. I don't know if you want to be on the ground rolling with DC, though.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know if you want to do that.
He's a big dude, man. I mean, he's not going to be easy to handle.
Yeah, So on this one, I think I'm going to go DC again. I think if it gets into like championship rounds, like 4 and 5, though, I think Stipe wins. If it goes past 3 rounds, I think Stipe has this because I'd be a little worried about DC's cardio in this.
What round did DC lose to John? Do you remember?
I think it was third.
Was it?
I think it was third.
I just remember
it was third
like
or fourth.
he was going after John.
Yeah, I mean that's true, and that's
expending a lot of energy.
Yeah,
and then that's when he was. You could tell he had leaned into that knee, right?
Yeah, it was
or
third
that kick. It was a kick.
Yeah, the kick got him in the head. It was third or fourth round. I'm pretty sure. I don't remember which round it was when he caught him with that. So, I don't know. I think DC could get tired. I don't know. Maybe not. I mean, wrestlers they don't really get tired. He's a big boy, though. He's a big
like 40,
boy,
right?
Yeah, he's a big boy. I don't know. I could be 100% wrong on that. I hope not.
Yeah.
But I got DC winning. He's got to get it done in the first 3 rounds. I'm gonna stick with my word. I think he has to get it done in the first 3 rounds.
All right. So I've got Miocic on that one.
Yep.
Looks like we only picked different on 2 fights.
Nate and then the featherweight fight.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Gabriel. Otherwise, we got Yoel, Derek, I picked Pettis. We picked differently on that one. I forgot.
Yeah,
you picked Diaz.
Yeah, I got Diaz.
Yeah. So
because you're picking Stipe, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so we'll see how that goes. That's going to be UFC 241. We'll be watching it hopefully Saturday night at Buffalo Wild Wings. We'll get hopefully some recorded reactions, see if they offer up any more posters or keychains or anything like
Need
that.
Something for this one. Are we going to be doing the podcast?
Robin.
We're going to do the podcast right afterwards.
Yeah, let's do the podcast right afterwards.
Have to.
And we'll be pushing that out. And so stay tuned. This is the Whiskey Weigh-In, and you guys take care.